today I got time, cuz. You lucky on that day I was acting cool, cuz. Nigga, what's up? How gangster are you, cuz? I don't fuck with you, cuz you disrespecting me. I don't fuck with you, cuz you disrespecting me. I go hard, cuz.
Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing good today. Let me make sure I got like all my screens up. It's been a long 24 hours, but I'm home. Shout out to all the nurses who don't miss shit. Y'all heard like I was in the hospital yesterday and I didn't think anybody would hear like the machines beeping. There was so many nurses like, T, are you okay? I hear the machines beeping in the background. I told you I was going to keep bringing y'all the tea no matter what. You know what I'm saying? As it was breaking on Diddy, I'm like, okay, I gotta definitely, you know what I'm saying, jump on top of it, especially because I had been waiting since Friday for Tony Busby's interview. So as soon as it broke, I'm like, let me hop up on it. The nurses was cracking up like, you are really in here recording videos? I'm like, yes, shh. But yeah, I had to bring y'all that tea, but I got home last night, so I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? This weekend is my event, so it's been a lot of planning over the past 4 or 5 months, so I'm not gonna miss that for nothing in the world. So yes, I will be there. I cannot wait. It's gonna be a dope ass weekend with the tea sippers. So shout out to everybody who's coming. And I think that's what was kind of stressing me out, especially after the storm hit. You know, I have a lot of tea sippers in the Southeast. That's why I started my YouTube career, was in North Carolina. I have way more fans in the Southeast than I do here. Like, I don't do anything in Minnesota. I just live here. So it's always funny when I run across tea sippers here. They are always shocked that I actually live in Minnesota because they all think I live in Atlanta. But yeah, so that's, I was like so worried, like, oh my God, are they still gonna be able to come? But a lot of people are still gonna be able to come. So thank y'all to the people who reached out and let me know, like, you know, even though y'all are dealing with Hurricane Helene, that y'all are still gonna make it. So that means the world to me, that y'all are still gonna come out. Cause honestly, the way everything is going on right now in the world, I don't know when I'm gonna do another get together, to be honest with you, because things are getting bad. The ports are shut down. It's a lot going on. So this is going to be our last hurrah for a while. Cause a bitch, you know, I'm a prepper. So I'm about to prep and hunker down. And then, you know, I'm in Minnesota, so it's about to start getting cold. So this is like our last big hurrah. You know what I mean? So it's going to be about 150 of us. And I'm just super excited. So I'm really glad that, you know, everybody who's able to come is going to come. So on top of that, there's a lot of mess going on with this Diddy case. It is getting crazier. Like every day, like not even every day, like every hour on the hour, it's something new that's coming out about Diddy or people attached to the case or, you know, commentators. So, you know, we've talked about Jaguar, right, on here, you know what I'm saying, a few times. And she does a lot of interview with the Blue Couch people. I think it's Real Life Productions. We're on the Blue Couch. So she does a lot of interviews with them. And she be going in. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I tell y'all, you know, you don't have to believe everything she says. It's up to you to do your own research and follow your own, you know, instincts. But Piers Morgan, who is mainstream as can be, had Jaguar right. The Culture Vulture, Vlad, Fed TV, he was on there as well. I didn't like how he kept trying to throw shade at her. Like, oh, she's just a conspiracy theorist. If I'd have been invited to a Diddy party, I would have went. Of course you would have went. Of course. So that way you could fucking take notes and shit. You remember that scene in Don't Be a Menace while drinking your juice in the hood? How I had the little redhead white boy? You know what I'm saying? He had killed the shopkeepers and then he crossed out O-Dog because he was out there framing black folks. They remember when they dropped off Omar Epps to the college? He was playing Remy. And then he took out Omar Epps. So that, yeah, Vlad, you would have been there, of course, taking notes. But you wasn't invited, fool. So he was trying to like throw a lot of shade towards Jag and acting like her perspective. He was very dismissive of what she was saying, which is interesting because Jag was actually in the industry. All you do is just mooch out for the culture. So I'm going to listen to her more than I'm going to even care about your opinion. Like, your opinion is null and void, especially being, if you guys remember, when he was popping, when he was that guy, you never saw his face. He was always behind the scenes, asking, you know, questions like, you know, like an investigator instead of a journalist. And now that he's not getting the views because Art of Dialogue has literally just took all his views. Nobody watches him unless he has Boosie over there. So now he's like on Piers Morgan. He's on this hobo tour, trying to act like he's a part of the, culture, him and Adam 22, or like on the TMZ interviews and all that stuff. So I find it very interesting. That's how they've fallen off, because before they were, just the white guys behind the scene getting a bag, and now they have to put themselves out there. So, but he's entitled to his opinion, child. I care less. I was there for Jaguar, right? And she was saying a lot of stuff, about Diddy and, how she feels about it. So we're going to watch a bit of the interview here with Piers Morgan. So let me go ahead and get this set up. Hopefully let me know if I had to mute it, because I'm so over StreamYard and their antics. I don't know if they're going to allow it to just play, if it's going to be echoey, but let me know, child. So we're going to go ahead and let me share my screen here. Give me just a second. Like, she was saying a lot about Jay-Z, and even called out Beyonce, child. I was shooketh. I was not ready. Okay. Let me know if it echoes.
Woman who he assaulted, to live through these things and hear your elders in the business, people like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. And being taught to be just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you. So you want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of...
She is going in. Like, I've never heard anybody, it's one thing to sit on the blue couch. It's one thing to be on, Storm Monroe's show, but she's on the Piers Morgan show. You don't get more mainstream than him because, he's British. He's been a journalist here and in America and in the UK, of course. So for her to be like literally calling out Jay-Z, calling him Sean Carter, saying that he's a monster, like, she's not holding any punches. And you can tell, look at Piers Morgan's expression. You can tell that even he's nervous. Like, he's kind of scared. He's not ready for her to go the way that she's going. So we're going to keep listening.
Tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
Right. There's been a lot of rumor mill about what has happened in the rap world. A lot of allegations that the misogyny in the lyrics clearly was based on a general misogyny towards women away from the music. And that clearly seems to have been borne out by these charges against Diddy, which if he's found guilty of all this, he's never coming out of prison. How dangerous do you think...
Thank God.
How dangerous do you think he is as a person?
I think he's one of the most dangerous people I've ever met. A lot of people have been questioning, well, she doesn't really know him. She has no knowledge of him. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil.
Damn. She said, I'm smarter than Claudia. Not Claudia catching a stray. She done called out Claudia Jordan. She said, I would never take a picture with the devil. So like I said, Jaguar Wright is holding no punches. And she is calling out names. She's not walking on eggshells. She does not care about any of these fake ass industry relationships because she knows where it takes you in the end. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame her. That's why I roll solo dolo. Fuck all these weirdos. Let's continue.
Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years. He's been covered and protected by not only Clive Davis, but Lucian Grange. He was selected to be the demon that he is to keep the culture in line so the industry could continue to rape it for all of its precious jewels. We have too many lost. The list of lost is ridiculous. And everyone knows Diddy was selected for this job. He's the Judas.
Do you think that if he's cornered in the way that he's been now, that he may start revealing things about other people?
He has no choice. His ego and his drug addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy. The simple fact that he's not saying more now only means that the people who have been protecting him all along, who put him in position to be such a horror to the Black community, still find value in him. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. It's a mess.
For those who were never at these freak-off parties, what were they like?
See, this is the thing. Everything that I'm about to say to you is not my firsthand knowledge. It is my firsthand witness account experience. I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix before I got my record deal. That's how I know how the dark world and the sex world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. That's why the movie Blink Twice is so important. Salute to Zoe Kravitz. The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes. I've seen what they do. The ritualistic behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases, dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying. And it's all done under the protection of this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. This is going to be, it's terrible.
It seems to have been something that a lot of people knew about, but people were simply too scared to talk about.
Everyone knows. And every person that's sitting there trying to act surprised knows very well. The whole point of this, like Cat Williams said when he sat with Shay Shay earlier this year, the whole point of this is for them in a coordinated effort to pretend like none of it is real for the public's perception. But
She's making a good point. If you guys have not been watching what's going on Twitter, a lot of people have been dragging LeBron James. And y'all know I'm a LeBron James fan, whatnot. But LeBron James, remember years ago, they told him to just shut up and dribble. And he was like, no, I'm not going to dribble. Like he felt like he was like the modern day Muhammad Ali in the sports world. So anything racial, anything, going on, he wants to be the first to speak about it. But then I lost a lot of respect for him during the Kyrie Irving situation. When Kyrie simply tweeted about the movie, whatever the hell that Jewish movie was called that everybody got mad about. And LeBron, being the guard dog of the NBA, literally threw all these shots at Kyrie, threw him under the bus, along with Shannon Sharp and others. Let's not forget that. And, you know, like I even said this year during the playoffs, it's very interesting how everybody just, you know, forgets that people treated Kyrie Irving like dirt not even 4 years ago. But what's more interesting is we have LeBron James on tape saying ain't no party like a Diddy party. And since all of this has come out, LeBron James has said nothing. So people have been coming at him like, why aren't you speaking up? Why aren't you saying anything? You know what I'm saying? Why are you not at least denouncing it? You're not even denouncing the videotape. And again, does he have to speak? No, but he's, you know, he says that he doesn't want to just dribble and shut up. So what she's saying is very true, that a lot of people are playing willfully ignorant. We saw that video of Clive Davis. He acted like he didn't know who Diddy was. So you know who everybody is in the industry. He was acting old and senile, acting like he couldn't see and hear. It's sad.
Everyone knows what's going on. It's been going on for years. It's been going on before Diddy. See, people keep looking at him like he's the Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We got to stop making Diddies. And if we're going to do that, then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically. And Clive Davis has been his greatest teacher.
Look, I
Called out Clive Davis. So, like I said, I don't want to play too much of the interview. I'll play a few more minutes. I don't want to play too much of it. But yeah, she's not playing. I've never seen anybody get on mainstream and speak in the manner in which she's speaking. Never seen it.
Clive Davis is not here to respond to that, nor is Jay-Z. But a lot of people, famous people in the music industry, have been notable, like I say, by their silence so far. It's also been notable that since the Me Too campaign began in 2017, the music industry has largely avoided the same scrutiny that other industries have had. Why do you think that is?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Since Me Too began in 2017, the music industry has largely avoided the same kind of scrutiny that other industries have had. Why do you think that is?
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam. I'm saying that now, publicly. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
Guess they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
Ooh-wee. She kept it a buck. Y'all can finish watching the full interview. I don't want to play the full thing. She ends up eventually calling out both Jay-Z and Beyonce. So I know the Beehive probably fainted watching that interview. But, you know, she kept it real. Like, this has been going on for years. And I think when I was reporting back on the whole Me Too movement situation and the Time's Up back in 2017, and we were all saying, it's time to drain the swamp. And remember, I was saying even back then, it's very interesting that the hip hop community and the music community, they're just very quiet. Remember, all the other industries were holding their breath because they didn't want a light shined on them. Let's focus on Harvey Weinstein and the director's couch. You know what I'm saying? The casting couch. Let's focus on that, as if the same thing is not happening in the industry. As if females aren't out here sucking dick to get beats and tracks and features and everything else. Even now, when you think about the Little Rod situation, he wouldn't even be in half the mess that he's in with Little Rod in that lawsuit had he just paid him what he owed him. This industry is about using people, getting what you can out of them and giving them the bare minimum, because they should be grateful that you're even standing next to me. You should be grateful to be breathing the same air as insert whatever A-list celebrity here. And that is how they move. And unfortunately, a lot of us as regular people throw common sense out the window. Remember a few years ago when Nelly was going through his Me Too movement? Remember when the girl came out and said that Nelly arred her on the bus? And, a lot of people were saying she's clout chasing, she's looking for a bag. And remember, people got on Wendy Williams, because Wendy Williams basically said the same thing I said. Would you have gotten on that bus if it was Cornelius James, who was a fry cook at Bojangles, versus Cornelius Haynes, the rapper? Why is it that as soon as we throw celebrity in the mix, all of a sudden females and males lose all common sense? When can we have that honest conversation? And Wendy asks the same thing, and what do people say? You're victim shaming. No, it's not victim shaming. It's when are we going to have these common sense conversations? Just because somebody's worth millions of dollars doesn't make them a saint. Just because somebody has written your favorite songs doesn't make them, a pastor or innocent. They're just people. That's one thing I've learned growing through life. People are just people. I don't expect too much and I don't expect too less. People are just people. Nothing more, nothing less. And I think once you break the facade of celebrity and fame, and you get down to it, these are just people that we put up on these pedestals. And now the same people that we put up on these pedestals, those pedestals are crumbling. And we're seeing the degeneracy. And we're seeing that the people who've been calling out these folks for years, maybe they're not so crazy. Maybe they're not conspiracy theorists after all. Maybe the lady that was in Beyonce's band who sued Beyonce for extreme witchcraft. Remember, I did a video on that years ago, and I broke it down like, you know what? I believe her. Because truth is stranger than fiction. Maybe she wasn't so crazy after all. Just saying. Somebody said, Hestia says, entertainment is the devil's playground. Absolutely. And that's the problem, is that people are willing to trade everything for a shot of fame, because a lot of people equate fame with money. There's people right now that you're watching on TV, actors, and they're literally living with roommates. They're not rich like that. They're putting on a facade. And I've been saying this for years. Why do you think all of these rappers and actors, they're all on YouTube, they're all podcasting, they're all trying to get another stream of income? Because celebrity and fame, the average person doesn't care anymore. We're finding out our favorite Nickelodeon stars were abused. Like, nothing is sacred. Literally, our whole childhood is ruined. Abuse on the set of Nickelodeon. Abuse on the set of Disney. All the abuse in Hollywood. Now all of the songs that we grew up with, deviance. Deviance behind everything. So what do? Do you just stop watching all the movies? Do you stop listening to all the music? No. But it just sucks that there's really nothing pure out there. So the whole situation, it's really sad. It's really sad, all the stuff that's going on. So now, I don't want to be on here too long. I've been on here already for 24 minutes because I still have to get ready. But I got to get on this. Let me talk about the memoir first, the Kim Porter memoir, and then I'm gonna talk about Gene Deal. So, it's been noted today, let me share my tab real quick, that Amazon has now pulled the book. And they're saying because the children said it's fake. So, y'all know I've been watching Art of Dialogue forever. Even before he blew up, I was watching him when he used to interview Danny Boy and rapper Jewel before she died. So, I was watching him when he had like not even 100,000 subscribers. So, he's really blown up. Art, I'm not sure why you had this man interviewing. And I cannot think of his name. His name just like escaped me. But I didn't really like his interview. We're going to watch a snippet of it here. Usually Art of Dialogue is the one who does the interviews with like Gene Deal and stuff like that. But he had a different guy interviewing. So this is the guy here. Okay. The author, a lot of people thought it was a black man. Let's start there, right? Because the book was written by Jamal T. Millwood. Everybody knows that when you hear the name Jamal, you're thinking a black guy. A black guy with a fade, a dashiki, and a medallion or some shit. Like, what up, Jamal? You know, that's like an old school 90s name. So I go to watch the interview. It's some random white man named Chris Todd. And he used the pseudonym Jamal. And he had some type of weird, I used it and I put the T in there because the T stood for Tupac. Whatever. So when the interview first started, the guy who's interviewing him was very like accusatory, and I did like the fact that he held his foot to the fire for him trying to use a pseudonym. And I get that people use pseudonyms, right? I get that sometimes when people write books, they don't want their real name used. I get that. But why didn't he just use, Chris is a pretty average name. He could have just used Christopher Millwood. Why did he feel the need to use Jamal T. Millwood? You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted people to think that this was going to a black man. But in reality, it's a white dude. So I thought the interview, the guy was just a bit too angry that was interviewing him. And I get that you have relations to Tupac and you were very close with Tupac. But when you go in it, can y'all write the interviewer's name? Because I cannot think of his name. The guy who's in it, he used to be one of Tupac's friends. He was there supposedly when Tupac and Faith met each other. I can't think of his name, but if y'all can write it in the chat. So we're just going to watch a bit of this. It came off like an interrogation. It came off like some shit like Vlad TV would do. He was just overly aggressive. It's like, okay, let the man tell his points. Because the way he came off, I'm starting, Delray. Thank you, Angie B. Delray. Delray Richardson. Thank you, DeAndre. Because at first, when I was first hearing about the book, I thought it was a bunch of bullshit, to be honest with you. But this man is saying that he actually has files. He actually has connections with people that were in Kim Porter's life. And it's like, the way Delray was acting, now I'm starting to think that there's some truth to the book. I watched an hour of this. I can't even watch the full 2 hours. I got like halfway through and I was just so frustrated because he was getting so upset and taking it so personal. It's like, bro, chill. If he has some tea, let him spill it and talk. He knows he got lawsuits in the wing coming from Faith. He knows Al B. Shore's in his feelings, but the man is saying that he has proof for all this stuff that he's saying. So we're going to watch a bit of it. I just felt like the whole back and forth, like you're arguing with him. It started coming off kind of unprofessional. Like I said, I liked near the beginning when he was kind of holding his foot to the fire. Like, why are you using a black name to push this book when you're clearly a white man? You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he clocked his T on that. But it seemed like a lot of stuff. He kept trying to argue dates. And the guy's telling you, I don't have all the dates because she wasn't writing down the specific dates. It's like he kept trying to insert himself into the story. Like, okay, we get it. You knew Tupac. Okay. Well, because I was there when Tupac and Faith, it's like, okay, but you don't know the ins and outs of every human being's life. You don't know every human being's day to day. So I don't know. I just kind of felt like he was doing a bit too much and he was getting way too offensive, that I'm starting to think now that there might be some truth to this book. Because I was very skeptical. But this interview is making me be like, well, damn, what's really the tea with this book? So let's go ahead and watch a snippet of it here. Like I said, it's pretty long. I got about halfway. Let me bring this up a little bit.
Talking.
I don't even know what year that article was written.
Yeah.
That you just handed to me out of the blue.
Yeah, it was early on in their relationship.
Okay. So in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
it was
maybe
early.
she didn't want to say that she slept with Tupac in the summer when she already was with Sean Combs in the summer of 94, not at the end.
No. What I'm saying is the relationship that she said that
I
she
understand
described
we're
that she was
talking-
in.
I know.
She basically said that it was at that party, that picture from that actual party, the identical what she's talking about in that article is the picture from that party, and it's dated December 31st,
Right.
1994.
It's like New Year's Eve.
Right. So now Tupac is shot less than, I would say less than
Month ago.
30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, less than 30 days before that,
Yeah.
right? So if their relationship began, then they couldn't have been in an open
I'm questioning they're really saying when the relationship began.
No, that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
the book, I'm talking about the book. The book says that they had an open relationship, right? The relationship had not began.
I'm saying that's false. So I don't care what the article says.
So you don't care what Kim says?
30 years ago? You're dating it as 1994.
No. I'm saying I'm talking about
30
this
years ago.
I'm talking about at this particular time. But
When the article was written, 30 years ago, right?
No, I wouldn't say 30 years ago. I don't know the exact date, but this you can go. It's an Essence article.
I believe, to be honest, I believe she met him in even before 94. I know.
Oh, they met before 94. That's
I know. In parts of the diary, there's segments of a diary. It's tries to. She's saying 94, like the summer. I think she dates it as like June 15th.
Right.
I think they met before that. I don't know if she's saying that date particularly. That's 6 months before that date.
But
I know what you're saying.
Right.
I'm not going to address it again.
The reason why
I've already said it.
Right. The reason why I'm saying not what you think, right, but actually what's in the book.
And just because she said it 30 years ago and 20 years ago, I understand what you're saying. I've already made the comment. I don't believe it's totally possible that she sleeps with Tupac Shakur in 1994. It doesn't mean she slept with him right before the shooting. I know what you're trying to do. I've said my thing.
Okay. No, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying.
That's literally just the gist of how it went. Like just this constant back and forth. It was very hostile. Thank you, Lollygag. It was very hostile. It's like he was getting upset. It's like, why did you invite him on? If you're going to jump on everything he says. And it's like, I mean, like I said before, I feel like Kim and all them were pass-arounds. I don't care. Y'all can get mad. Y'all can get offended. I've been said this. They were all pass-arounds. You know, Tupac was also with Sarah Chapman. And Sarah Chapman was really young. Kim and Sarah have been friends for a long time. I think they were all, I mean, you got to think about back then, how popular Tupac and Suge and all them, all these chicks all ran in the same circle. Remember, Misa was fucking Suge Knight. Danny Boy used to babysit Justin Combs, who allegedly is not, you know, Diddy's son. So I think they all used to mess around. Even now, don't you always find it odd that everybody that Tupac was once associated with or dated or had sex with, Diddy ends up with them as well? Tupac was with Sarah Chapman, and that's one of Diddy's baby mamas. Tupac was allegedly also with Kim. That's one of Diddy's baby mamas. Sarah Chapman is Chance's mom. Diddy was smashing Kim and Sarah at the same time. Sarah got pregnant with Chance, and then Kim ran to get pregnant with the twins so she could have his last kids. You know how females do. They want to be the last, like Tara and Amina and Peter. Remember, kind of the same thing. Tara had Peter's baby, and then Amina ran to have the baby, and then Tara got pregnant again, and then Amina ran to have another baby. That's kind of the gist of the whole Kim and Sarah situation. So I think, you know, I think the truth lies somewhere in here. I'm not saying that the book is 100% factual. I have not read the book, but now I'm more curious because the way this man interviewed, he was so like defensive. And I just didn't understand that. Like I get, clocking certain parts, but it's like he wants timestamps and dates. And it's like, if this is supposedly coming from her diary, if it's not there, it's not there. Obviously, if he went through all this and he's writing it, I would hope he was smart enough. He says that he's written many books. He's done, a lot of things like this, that he would be vetting the information and that this information would be as accurate as possible. So it's going to be interesting, to like really see how all this plays out. But I think I can't watch 2 hours of this. Like I said, I lasted about an hour, but it's like, I kept trying to give him grace. Like, okay, eventually he's going to just let this man explain some stuff. And it was just like this constant headbutting and, hostility. I was like, okay, I'm over it. It was just too much. So let me go ahead and read some of these super chats here. Let me see. Javon Drew sent $9.99, says, hey T, I haven't caught a live in some time. I wanted to send something to show my appreciation for all your hard work you have been doing. Playback gang. Thank you so much for the $9.99. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. Let's see here. Diva D sent $10. Thank you, Diva. Appreciate you. Yasel sent $2. Says, happy you're doing well. Love how you're keeping up. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bree sent $19.99. Says, hey T, looking good as always. As well, hey Discord family, thank you so much, Bree. Thanks for checking in, sis. Danya says, I'm glad you feel better, T. Have a great time with my fellow Discorders. Be safe. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I don't know if I'm gonna pronounce this right. Dicito. Sorry if I mispronounce it. Said $9.99, says, my favorite YouTuber. Thank you for your hard work that you put into your channel and for your knowledge. My screen name is pronounced D is tight. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you broke that down. I didn't know what that wrote. D is tight. Okay, D with the tight. Thank you. I appreciate you, sis. All right, Tabby Cat sent 20, says, T, Jag is just frustrated. Jay-Z has not been held accountable yet. I don't blame her. Bring it all to light. What is the holdup? Yeah. You can tell she's very upset. She's been calling out Jay-Z for years, and a lot of people dismissed her as a hater. She's bitter. Her career didn't go anywhere. But obviously something happened. She has not kept her foot off of Jay-Z's neck. So, it's going to be very interesting to see if Jay-Z or his lawyers, if they end up sending a cease and desist. Because he's good for sending cease and desists. Because he hates for people to talk about Kathy White. He hates for people to talk about his, his little children that he has out here. He will send a cease and desist quick. Because I remember I received one a few years ago when I did the video about his, alleged son. I call him Lazy, like Jay-Z. I got sent a cease and desist. So we'll see if she gets sent one, child. Let's see here. Chronicles of a Woman sent $9.99, says, I said that about Blink twice. It was just like a Diddy party. I got to watch this movie. I still have not gotten to watch it. Maybe I'll be able to watch it on the plane. I might have to download it and watch it on the plane because I have not watched it. Let me see here. My page is refreshed. Wavy Tay, what's up, Wavy? He says, hey, Auntie, your favorite soldier checking in. Just wanted to say hi to you and the Tea Sippers. I will watch the playback later. Also, the attack on Israel will soon go far and beyond the Middle East. Stay prayed up. Yes, and I know you're in the military. Stay safe. Shout out to all my military people. I love my military tea sippers. Y'all be keeping me abreast of a lot of stuff, and I appreciate it. We are definitely entering World War III. Y'all know I did that video about 6 months ago with the whole Ukraine-Russia situation. So now with all of those missiles being launched at Israel, we will be pulled into more. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So it's going to get bad between what's going on in the Middle East, the longshoremen, and this is stuff that's affecting us as a country. Outside of the diddy shit doesn't really affect us. That's the celebrity world. But us as regular people, it's about to get real. It really is. And let's not forget all these natural disasters. So everybody definitely stay prayed up and stay safe and stay prepared. So thank you, Wavy. Side West Senpai says, yo, they really have Jaguar up there like that, looking good, T. Thank you. Yeah, they got her on national television, child. Pierce Morgan was looking nervous as hell. I've never seen him looking that nervous. Let's see here. Osaya Osis19 says, hey, T, this is my first super chat. Jag has been speaking out about the industry for years and everything is coming to fruition. By the way, you look stunning. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And yes, she has been. She has. Logan. Okay, so Logan sent 10 says, hey, auntie, it's your never met before nephew, Logan. But Kendrick Lamar said it best. Celebrity does not mean integrity, you fool, in his song, Rich Spirit. That is the truth. That is the truth. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat. Bubbles Activated said 1999. Says, hey, T, just showing some love. I'll catch the playback. What up, Discord gang? Thank you so much. Oh, let me refresh my page. It just crashed. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay. Say Carrie sent 5 says, hey, T, I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you for keeping us up to date with current events. You are definitely welcome, and thank you so much for checking in with me. Let's see here. The tiniest little Kiwi sent 20 says, T, did you hear someone who does predictions say Jay is next and that him and B might move to a different country and that by 2036 we are going to change our mind about them? I think probably you meant 2026 because 2036 is a long time to change your mind about Jay-Z and Beyonce. But yeah, I've been hearing all types of predictions and, you know, the names and the people on the tapes. We're just going to have to wait to see what ends up happening. But thank you so much for the super chat, sis. Let's see here. Ashley says, did you see the lovely Scrappy interview? Everything you've been saying about the diddler, he repeated. Oh, wow. No, I haven't seen his interview, so I'm not sure. That's interesting. I'm going to have to watch it. Thank you for the super chat. Rage Blaze and $49.99 says, hey, T, you know the feds are having a hard time getting Vince McMahon because he actually made a lot of wrestlers millionaires and they can't get no witnesses in the wrestling world to go against him. But Diddy, on the other hand, has done so many people wrong. That is such a good point. That is such a good point. Because, yeah, a lot of people were able to eat and he did put people in positions. There are some people that he did take advantage of. Let's not act like he didn't. There are some wrestlers that he took a lot of advantage of, but a lot of them were definitely in better positions from like the WWE than anybody who ever signed to Bad Boy. The Bad Boy artists have nothing to show for their time at Bad Boy, unlike a lot of the wrestlers in the WWE, WWF. So yeah, that is a good point. So now let me go ahead. I want to get on this Gene Deal situation. We have over 10,000 people in here. Please hit the like button. I see 2,000 likes. We had 10,000 people in here. Hit the like button if you guys are enjoying this stream. So I'm very shocked. So the Gene Deal interview came out about an hour ago. His energy is, well, now it's saying 5 hours. His energy is different. And I watch a lot of his interviews on Art of Dialogue. I mean, I think I probably watched every single one. I'm not liking his energy. There's a lot of mushmouth talk, a lot of backtracking, a lot of weird defending of Diddy. And I have a funny feeling why he's coming, how he's coming. So let's go ahead and watch a snippet of this here. Give me just a second. So we're gonna watch this here. His energy is very different.
I don't know what the hell to think. All I know is that it's no way in hell that they got 120 some people ready to come to court and sue them. Listen, what they're gonna do? A class action lawsuit? They're gonna put them all together in one bundle and sue.
Objection. Let me go ahead and clock his T. So you mean to tell me that Gene Deal literally watches every news thing about Diddy, any article that comes out about Diddy? He reads all of the lawsuits against Diddy. Oh, in line such and such, Little Rod said this. In line such and such, Cassie said this. But you mean to tell me Gene Deal did not watch Tony Busby's viral press conference yesterday where he clearly stated there will not be a class action lawsuit. This is not a class action lawsuit. Every single individual with proof will have their day in court against Diddy. I refuse to believe that he missed that. And he's trying to spin it as if this is a class action lawsuit, when that was the first thing that Tony Busby said, is that this is not a class action lawsuit.
Him, his companies, everything, because they can't sue them individually. Because if you sue him, I don't think there's enough money to sue 120 people to sue him individually. So it's crazy that I just don't believe, bro. And that's hard to fathom. 120 people that came forward outside the 50 people that was last week, or that's with.
Nah, this is one lawyer with 120 people.
So that's 170 people all together, bro. It's no way. It can't be that much sexual assault in the world.
Yeah, I notice his energy is different. Even Art, listen to Art of Dialogue's voice. Even he's like, nah, man. Like, even you can tell Art is kind of like, well, where are you going with this, Gene? Diddy has been in the game for 30 years. Why are you acting like 150, 170 people is just out of the norm? Jimmy Savile, that pervert from the UK, who was on everybody's television screen in the UK for years. I think he was on TV for like 20, 30 years. He molested thousands of people. Thousands of people came out after he died because he was that powerful in the UK. He molested thousands. So why is it out of the norm to think that 150 people can come out? And initially it was 50. Remember, they said they had over 3,000 calls. Initially, when they said that they were going to do the press conference, he had 50 people at the time. At the time of the press conference, they had blown up to like 120. Those are the ones that they got to vet all this stuff. They're not just about to run with everybody who calls in. They got to make sure that there's people who have receipts, who have real names, who have proof. So it's 120 and counting. Why is that so like out of the norm? Why is that so weird to him all of a sudden, when for years, this is how Gene Deal got his claim to fame, was calling out Diddy's antics and all the stuff that Diddy has done over the years? Why is it all of a sudden now just out of his scope? Oh my God, 170 people? No way. Yeah, right. Like, why is that all of a sudden so weird when we're talking about a 30-year career? His energy's different. His energy's different. I'm not liking it. Let's continue.
It's no way. What was that? Who was one of the mass rapists of all time? He outdid Jack the Ripper. He outdid Jack the Ripper, man. The Boston Strangler. He just don't have no bodies that we know about. That's crazy, man.
He trying to crack them dry ass jokes. Notice Art ain't laughing. He try to keep silence from Art.
I don't believe that, Mighty. I really don't. I don't think that you can legitimately get 120 people to say that Sean John Combs molested them. I don't believe that.
So you don't believe it, you personally? Because I mean, Diddy, he has been throwing parties since the 90s.
But you talking about somebody saying that he sexually assaulted them. What do they consider sexually assault? They had to go there and see and speak with the people and interview them and see if, they may consider some of that shit being consensual. They may think some of them people don't have a case. What if somebody say he touched my butt? He pat me on my butt. That could have been an accident. He brushed up against me.
This man is doing a lot of caping. He's doing a lot of caping. All of a sudden, what if it was just he accidentally touched somebody on their butt, or he brushed up against him? Weren't you the one screaming at the top of your lungs that you was there witnessing him lacing drinks? Isn't your video interview from Art of Dialogue and Little Rod's lawsuit, sir? Now all of a sudden it's unfathomable. Something is going on. Even his disposition, the way his hands are, he seems hella nervous. This ain't the same Gene Deal, child.
We don't know what these people are saying. On this one, bruh, I'm giving Puff the benefit of the doubt. I'm just giving him, I'm gonna throw it out the window. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't believe 120 people, he sexually assaulted 120 people. And they have.
Objection. He's full of shit. So, you believe everything in Cassie's lawsuit. You believe everything in Little Rod's lawsuit. You believe everything that Jaguar Wright is saying, but you draw the line at 120 people. And if y'all know who Tony Busby is, he's one of those, he doesn't play. He's not going to take this case on for free and represent these people without evidence, without thorough evidence. This is what he does. So it's very interesting, like how nervous he is all of a sudden. And now you want to give Diddy a lifeline? Now you want to say that, you're going to shoot him some bail and you don't believe that Diddy would do this? Why is this all of a sudden above the scope of what Diddy would do? But you've watched him beat Misa to the point where she had to run under a car. You watched him slap his mama with her degenerate white nail polish wearing ass. You watched him do all this stuff. He supposedly set up Wolf and it was his fault that Wolf got killed. But now this is where he draws the line. It's weird. It's very weird.
These people as legitimate witness and legitimate cases against them. I'm going to go with that, man.
Yeah, and the same lawyer, he came out with a hotline for the victims.
Oh, they got a hotline, bro.
Yeah, it's a hotline you can call.
I don't believe that shit. A hotline? My man, listen to me. Do they have a hotline or the federal government have a hotline? Because the federal government didn't have a hotline since FEMA. And nobody put a hotline out on the Catholic Church when the Catholic Church molested those little boys. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody put a hotline on a WWF when they was, Vince McMahon and them was doing their thing to their co-workers and everything like that. They got a hotline on.
A lot of caping. All of a sudden he's mad that there's not a hotline for all these other people. Again, we can walk and chew gum. How do you know there might not be a hotline coming on, down the pipeline for Vince McMahon? But the point is, we're talking about Diddy. The same person you've been talking about for years on the internet. The dry laughing, the nervous movements. I don't know, man. So,
Diddy, man.
Yeah, it's a number out there. We can call it right now. I think I seen it on 50 page. You got your phone on you? We can call it right now.
Man, I keep my phone on me. You don't go. It's like American Express. You don't leave home without your phone. What's the number, man?
1-800 200 7474.
How you get this number, bro?
No, it's online.
Your call may be recorded for call quality assurance purposes. Thank you for calling the Sean P. Diddy Abuse Helpline. This call is being recorded and your responses will be recorded exactly as you state them and reviewed by our staff and legal counsel. The information you provide is very important should you have a case. You may be asked to verify your responses by affidavit, so your complete honesty is crucial. If you agree to provide accurate information to the best of your knowledge under penalty of perjury, please press 1. Otherwise, please disconnect the phone call now.
Man, get out of here. Oh my God. My man, they didn't have a hotline for the Catholic priests, bro. That's crazy. But did they? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sir, get the fuck out of here. Anyways, I'm over Gene. Something ain't right. We got 12,000 people in here. Something is not right. I've never seen his energy like that. And it's very funny, like I said, with this whole Tony situation, he's acting like, well, where'd you get the 1-800 number? Maybe it was behind Tony Busby. Remember, he was standing in front of a sheet that had 1-800, call this number if you were if you were victimized by Diddy. He's trying to act like he just has no idea about what was said in the interview and, why are they trying to put out a phone number? They didn't have a hotline for the Catholic priest. He's doing a lot of backtracking to me. And I think this is part of the reason. If you guys remember in the interview that I played yesterday of Tony Busby, he said that he's going after everybody. Every entity who sat there and watched, who partaked, who enjoyed, banks, pharmaceutical companies. He said he's going after everyone. So I think he's nervous because he don't know if he will be seen as just witnessing these crimes that he's been talking about for the past 10 years on the internet, or if he will be seen as a perpetrator. Let me go ahead and refresh y'all's memory. Remember, this was Tony Busby yesterday. So I think this is really why Gene is nervous. Listen to this.
This conduct. Anyone who was in the room and watched it happen, but made no effort to stop it. Any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on, but failed to stop it. Any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it, but did nothing to report it or stop it. And any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data.
Did y'all peep what he just said? This is what he said yesterday, and then we have Gene's disposition today. Acting like he didn't watch this. Look at the phone number. Remember I said the phone number was right behind Tony Busby. So why is he acting like he doesn't know where Art of Dialogue got the phone number from? So I think at this point in time, Tony ain't playing with these folks. He's saying that if you were there, if you benefited, if you received a paycheck, and you did not go to the police and let them know what was going on, you're just as guilty. And the thing is, I think what it was with a lot of these people, I don't think they thought it was going to get to this point. Shit is getting real. Because it was okay when they were spilling old hip-hop tea from the 90s, right? Because it was a way to build up their channels, get views, teach some of the young ones about things that were going on in the industry back then. Spill a little bit of dirt. But I don't think he ever thought it would get to the point where there's a 1-800 number and they had over 3,000 calls. And you were there working for Diddy for a number of years. You mean to tell me that folks just worked and were around Diddy? Just, with blinders on? Everybody can tell us all these abuse situations and Misa getting beat up and this person getting hurt, this person getting threatened. So what were you doing the whole time that you're watching all this transpire? So it sounds like all these YouTube gossipers who've been, spilling Diddy's tea, who are like in the inner circle. It sounds like Tony Busby is working with the feds or whoever he needs to work with to subpoena them. Maybe some of them are on these tapes. Maybe some of these victims are going to say, hey, I was in Diddy's office. They forced me to suck his peen and Big Gene was in the corner. Allegedly. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying that that's what happened. So I'm wondering if that's what's making him nervous. Like, what have these victims said? Are they going to say they remembered Big Gene being in the corner watching this shit go down? This is crazy. When I tell you this rabbit hole, I did not expect the switch up. Because Gene has been one of the ones keeping his foot on Diddy's neck. So for him to be like, oh, no, I got Puff's back on this one. I don't believe all 120 victims. They're lying. There's no way. Ain't that much sex in the world. Well, damn, Big Gene, was you in the corner when all this was going down? Why the switch up? I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense to me. Am I tripping? I've never seen him act like this. And I think part of the problem is shit is real now. This is bigger than just sitting on Art of Dialogue's couch and talking. This has now become a federal investigation spanning decades. And now we're talking about minors. So that makes it even scarier. When they're saying that a 9-year-old was abused by Diddy and forced to give Diddy, the switch up is real. That's what I'm saying. Like now I'm watching him kind of switch up. I'm seeing the guy that did the interview about the book. He's getting out extra angry and hostile. So I'm like, damn, the truth has to lie somewhere in the middle. So I don't know. The whole thing is getting crazy. So before I go, let me read this here. Hold on here. So Little Rod, he's not pulling no punches. Oh, okay, no, actually, let me talk about Little Rod, then I'm going to talk about my last topic. Okay, before I forget. Okay. So for y'all who don't know, Little Rod is moving forward and he's starting to drop names. Remember when he first came out with his lawsuit, he said that Diddy was he was suing Diddy for $30 million because Diddy literally played him on the Love album. He was with Diddy for a year. He was sexually assaulted. Carisha made her nasty cousin, give him head that he didn't want. Carisha and them had him, carrying drugs like a drug mule and, doing pink cocaine, all just types of shit. He was sexually harassed by Cuba Gooding Jr. It was all types of nonsense. And so they're still working in the background to try and get Diddy to settle. Diddy and his lawyers are refusing to settle, which makes sense because they're going to need that money to fight to get him, out of jail right now. They need the money to put up for these houses. They need the money because right now he's locked up. So he's not trying to settle with Little Rod. So now Little Rod is basically coming out and he's calling out Diddy's BFF, aka Brother Love's boyfriend, Stevie J. So he is calling out Stevie J, and he says that he has more names that he will be calling out. So let me go ahead. We're going to read this article to y'all. Little Rod accuses Stevie J of allegedly carrying guns for Diddy and recruiting sex workers. So they're saying Diddy has been hit with numerous disturbing allegations in the past few months from former corroborators, exes, and more. Now Stevie J is facing some accusations of his own in a lawsuit filed by Little Rod Jones. According to our Hip Hop, the former Bad Boy producer is accused of being a part of Combs' enterprise. Remember that, Rico? This is described by outlets as an alleged criminal organization accused of various illegal activities. The activities allege sex trafficking, alleged drug-related offenses, and more. Little Rod and his lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, accused Stevie J allegedly carrying guns for Diddy and also allegedly recruiting women for prostitution. These allegations come to light after Blackburn contested Diddy's motion to dismiss Little Rod's lawsuit earlier this week. They're saying at this time, Little Rod also threatened to expose Diddy's alleged co-conspirators if the lawsuit isn't settled. Plaintiff has opted not to name these individuals in this opposition to the motion to dismiss. Blackburn wrote, if in their reply the defendant decides to foolishly, okay, he said foolishly, look a gift horse in the mouth, then the plaintiff will gladly supplement this opposition memo and provide the court with the identities of the individuals. As for Stevie J, he defended Diddy shortly after the mogul's mansion was raided by Homeland Security earlier this year. Whatever someone does in their bedroom is what they do, he told TMZ. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they're talking about. What do you think of Little Rod? Oh, well, I guess they're asking us those questions. So that's what they're saying. Basically, if Diddy once again files to dismiss this case, the floodgates will be open. And Little Rod for sure knows where the bodies are buried. You notice Mary J. Blige, she was nervous as hell on the red carpet. I posted that video in my last video that I did. I've never seen her covered up like that. She looked like she looked nervous. You could tell whatever's going on in the industry is weighing on a lot of people. I saw the video of Ashton Kutcher. Paparazzi caught him recently. Let me see if I can find it. He looked nervous too. Ashton Kutcher terrified Diddy could make up false allegations. Ashton Kutcher betrayed, fears and worries that the rapper may use him to get off. Yeah, a lot of people are nervous. Trying to see if they have the video. Yeah, I'm not seeing the video on this post. But it's a video floating around Instagram of like the paparazzi going up to Ashton and he's like, he looks super nervous. See if I can find it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. But it's out here somewhere. So it's a lot of these celebrities are nervous right now. And so Little Rod knows where the bones are buried and he's willing to spill everything and he has receipts. And I think also Carisha definitely needs to be nervous. She's been already caught out in the most recent lawsuit against Diddy on top of Little Rod's. But I think at this point in time, what I'm seeing is that this industry seems like a major hub for trafficking girls, and it's just one big sexual ritual orgy fest, you know, between like the movie industry, the music industry. I mean, that it seemed like all of this stuff was just a way to funnel girls in. Even Carisha Please. Like I said, I've never sat and watched her podcast. I just see the clips that go viral. Everything she talks about is just sexual. Getting peed on, sucking dick, you know what I'm saying? Just, I'm a whore. She's just classless. But yet she's winning awards for like best podcast of the year. She doesn't talk about anything fulfilling. She doesn't talk about anything that feeds the soul, that educates people, that prepares people for the real world. She's talking about, you know, having sex with Meg Thee Stallion. I feel like they were using her to lure girls in to these freakouts for Diddy. And let's not forget the whole Zeus Network connection. How a lot of those girls are being called out for being sex workers, and you know what I'm saying, that Zeus Network does a lot of stuff with these girls and uses them to sleep with clients and stuff like that. Hell, we know the whole cast is damn near sleeping with Lemmy. They're saying Scotty's currently pregnant. And people are trying to figure out if it's Lemon Pepper Stepper's baby or her old boyfriend. Allegedly. That's what they're saying on TikTok. So, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. And it seems like they're using this music industry as a way to lure in young people with the hopes and promises of record careers and music careers. And then they get here and, yeah, if you want this record career, you have to suck me off. You have to do this. You have to do that. So the whole situation is just crazy. It's crazy, all this stuff that's coming out. But Stevie J did all that caping. And I believe a lot of the stuff that Little Rod is saying. Because let's not forget. And remember, I called Stevie J out. Remember that interview that he did with that woman? I forget her name. Her podcast was like the Lemonade Podcast or something. The brown skin lady. Remember, she was interviewing Stevie J. He was in bed. You could only see him from the chest up. And during the interview, somebody started giving him head. And I caught that out. I said, why is it that when it comes to how they treat black media, they have no respect for us as black media, as people who are doing interviews? Stevie J would not have one on the Piers Morgan show, the Megyn Kelly show, naked getting head. And remember, he was getting head where? On Star Island in Diddy's house. So when you put yourself out there as a deviant, that you can't control your libido for more than, for a 20-minute interview, that you're that addicted to sex that you have to have somebody sucking your dick while you're being interviewed, I believe everything that Little Rod's about to drop about your ass. How was he introduced to us? On Love and Hip Hop, cheating on Mimi with Jocelyn, who was in the strip club. Everything about him screams sexual degeneracy. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing all this stuff for Diddy, procuring girls. Look how he found Jocelyn. He obviously has connections in the strip clubs and stuff like that. So I would not be surprised about anything that Little Rod puts in the lawsuit because of Stevie J's actions. If you're willing to move like that publicly, where you're willing to get head in the middle of an interview, and that poor lady's trying to be as professional as possible, she's a good one because I'd have disconnected the call. I don't have time for foolishness. Call me when you're done draining your dick, and then we can pick up where we left off. I'm not about to sit here and listen to slurping sounds, and it was just so disgusting and disrespectful. And this is a man who's in his 50s, who has grown children. But again, people only do that to black media because they have no respect for black media. He would not have done that on a white platform. He would not have embarrassed that lady and disrespected that lady in the manner in which he disrespected her. And then you even had clowns trying to clown the black lady and saying, well, she's dumb. Her questions were boring. I would have got some head too. Y'all make excuses for any type of, for just degenerate people. Y'all always make excuses for it because it's a celebrity. If this was a regular person, they would have drug a regular person. But because you tie a celebrity to it, y'all find any type of excuse. So you mean to tell me a grown man does not have enough wherewithal and self-control to just not get head for 20 minutes? No, he did that. That was sexual harassment. He did that to sexually harass that lady. So, like Cat Williams says, all of these big dick deviants will be exposed. So I'm here for whatever Little Rod is getting ready to spill. Because Diddy don't got it. At this point, Little Rod, he's not about to pay you $30 million. I'm just keeping it real. He already had to pay Cassie all that money. He got 120-something lawsuits. He ain't got it. So you might as well go ahead and spill the tea. Let me go ahead and shout out Moneybag Mo. She's in the building. She sent $499.99. Thank you so much, Moneybag Mo, for the love. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through and always blessing my chat. I really, really appreciate it, sis. Man, I swear today has been like a really good day. We have over 13,000 people in here. It's not going to be a super long stream because I got to get ready to go and start packing and everything else. Let me read these last few super chats. And before I go, I just want to hit up some stuff about the strike because I know a lot of people have been asking me about that. So I want to get on that really quick. Let me read some of these super chats here. Okay, Seed of Tem sent $4.99, says P. Diddy and his masters got dirt on Gene Deal. Now he's changing his story. Yeah, it sounds, like I said, I'm not trying to judge, but I was very surprised when I saw that interview. Because when it dropped, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what Gene Deal has to say about the Tony Busby situation. And his disposition is, if you go back and watch how he's always responded when he's gone onto Art of Dialogue, when they talked about Cassie or talked about, any other lawsuit, oh, he's there with bells and whistles. He's ready to co-sign everything in these lawsuits. But with this situation, he's playing willfully ignorant. And I don't like it. it's like it got my tin hat tingling. Okay. Let's see here. Aya sent $2, says Gene has a new response after watching the conference. Yeah, definitely. Calm and Free says there are 365 days in a year. Diddy had the money and time to be a full-blown degenerate that he is. He's scared because they are coming for not just Diddy, but those that enabled him. Go and find a lawyer, sir. Yep. And I think that's what it boils down to. Because they have said on these platforms that they watch Diddy drug people and say, hey, don't touch them champagne bottles. Touch these champagne bottles. So you mean to tell me y'all was around all this degeneracy? He said that he's seen Diddy was fucking Ja Rule. So Diddy can fuck Ja Rule in the ass. But we draw the line at him sexually harassing 120 regular people. That's where we draw the line. So we're supposed to believe the Diddy and Ja Rule story, but the 120 people, that's too much. Okay. Let's see here. Harleen Quinn said $9.99 says sound like Gene Deal reached a deal with Diddy. Thank you for the super chat, love. Shy B sent 20 says the press conference clearly stated that they will be suing corporate entities and parties who assisted in the decades-long abuse. Gene would fit that description. Oh, Lord knows he talked enough about it. Exactly. And like I said, I think for a lot of these people that have been out talking about it, it was cool when it was just YouTube fodder. When it was, I'm getting a check from YouTube. But now that it's done turned into this whole FBI investigation, that's a little bit different. I've never seen him in any of these interviews even act like he was co-signing anything that Diddy has done. So I don't know, man. Not a good look. Rissa A says, I think there was another security guard saying that he saw him beat Cassie. He was working for Ciroc by the time Diddy started the freak offs. He was just in disbelief. Yeah. It's a lot of people who are complicit in this. Somebody like Diddy is not able to make the moves that he makes by himself. Remember, like I said months ago, when everybody was talking about these girls being drugged, right? When you lose your faculties, when either you're drugged or you're passed out, you can't walk. You're literally what you call dead weight. So if these women are walking into the party, how are they walking out? You don't drug somebody and then there's a timer like, okay, the drug wears off in 20 minutes. You don't know how it will affect each person. You're hoping that you don't kill them. But this person could be knocked out for an hour. This person could be knocked out for 6 hours. You don't know. Diddy's never going to be filmed carrying people who are drugged out of a party. So who are the people dragging out the dead weight? AKA these women and these men who were carrying them out of the parties to go upstairs to the freak offs. You got to ask yourself that. I would say top flight security, but I might be wrong. SL Dozier sent $2, says somebody is in Diddler's camp, finally found a Gene Deal tape. Oop. I hope not for his, peace of mind. I hope he's not nowhere on those tapes. But thank you for the super chat. Sanai said $9.99 says during the press conference, the attorney mentioned that abusers would be sued as well as the witnesses who did nothing. Gene witnessed the drinks get laced and did nothing. Self-preservation. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking it might be. Because the way that he's answering these questions, the way he's acting so dismissive, he's so shocked about the 1-800 number. Yeah, no. There's no way that you're reading all of these depositions and you know that Diddy's going to be arrested in September. You obviously have some type of inside knowledge. But now with this whole conference, you have no knowledge of anything. You're shocked about the amount of people. You didn't know there was a 1-800 number, even though the lawyer is standing in front of the 1-800 number. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Let's see here. Forever Your Leo, Sim 499 says, hey T, Gene is giving he's the one of the names that could have been dropped by a victim or either a witness of a crime involved. Yeah. That's the vibe I'm getting, sis. Tucci Beloved says Gene is on them tapes. Smooth Artist said they did something to him. He got diddled. Y'all are messy. Laura Howard says it is possible that he's one of the bodyguards that participated. Yeah. Something's not right with the way he was acting in that interview. And you can even tell by Art of Dialogue's energy. Because usually he can't get Gene to shut up. Usually be like, yeah, man, yep. Well, what do you think about this? What do you know? But you could even tell, like, with their conversation, that Art was kind of surprised with the way Gene was acting. Go back and watch other interviews when Art is interviewing Gene and Gene is into the conversation and really spilling tea. And then go back and watch what we just watched. Two totally different dispositions. So, something ain't right. Let's see here. Relaxation Sim 5 says Jocelyn said that Possum loved having company in their bedroom. Wouldn't be surprised if Jocelyn goes behind Stevie too. Yeah, I could see Jocelyn's cabaret being a front, you know, for all types of illicit stuff, you know, and the way she talks to them and puts hands on them like she's a madam. Like I saw a video on Twitter the other day where she just reached out and just slapped the hell out of some girl. And the girl just sat there like it was a hoe and pimp situation. Like she just gonna let Jocelyn slap you? It's crazy. It's insane. Let's see here. Jihad Books at $9.99 says, hey T, just want to say I love you and what you do. I've been a viewer since early high school. I'm now 25, going on 26. Peace and blessings, sending love and light. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me since you were in high school. Very much appreciated. So, okay, so before I go, let me hit on this really quick. The longshoremen, they have, because when I did the last video, I was saying I wasn't sure if they might hold off on the strike because of Hurricane Helene. They went on strike at midnight on the 1st. And so right now, you're not going to feel the effects this first week just because a lot of stores had stocked up. But they're not playing. They're not playing at all. We're going to watch the interview from the union president. He's done a lot of interviews concerning the longshoremen and what they go through. Like, it's a very hard job. It's a lot that is entailed with this job. And so one of the things that they're asking for is that they don't want their jobs taken over by automation, because on the West Coast, there are already docks that are fully automated, and at least 800 workers have lost their jobs. So they're trying to prevent automation. He also wants a 77% raise over the next 6 years. Now, the problem is a lot of people feel like, well, they're being greedy because a lot of longshoremen, they make about $100,000 a year. They say that the president of the union, Harold Daggett, he makes $1 million a year. Okay, and that's fine. But the companies who have them unloading all of these shipping containers, they're making billions. Billions. And they're not sharing any of that money with these hardworking men. So he did an interview with Fox News and he kind of clocked their tea. It was kind of funny. So we're going to watch this interview. And I've watched all of his interviews even before this strike situation. I went back because he's been talking about change in the longshoremen trade for years. Like, he's one of those union presidents. He has his people's back. It is a very, very dangerous job. It really is. So we're going to go ahead and listen to this really quick here, to this interview. Give me just a second.
Over the weekend, the past
Secretary of Labor Julie Sue has been terrific. She's knocking down doors. She's trying to stop this. She's trying to get us to a media where we can have a fair negotiations. It's the companies that don't want to. They don't want to sit here and be fair. So that's why we're out here fighting for our livelihood.
What more from the automation do you want? What more protections could there be?
What more?
Yeah, they have language in there now.
Not strong enough, because what happens is they come in with new technology. We just caught them in Mobile, Alabama, called Autogate, and that means the trucks are coming in and they're already checked in somewhere else and not using the checkers in the ILA. Circumventing the contract. They don't care. They don't care. It's not fair. And if we don't put our foot down now, they would like to run over us, and we're not going to allow that.
You are going to grind the economy to a halt here on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast.
No, not us. They are. Don't spin it now, because you're Fox News. They're going to drive it.
But are you worried?
They're going to drive it.
Are you worried that this
They
strike?
have the capital to settle this thing.
Are you worried that this strike is going to hurt the everyday American, the farmers that need to reach the export market? They're telling me that they're going to hurt through
Now
all
you
of this.
start to realize who the longshoremen are, right?
Nobody cares.
People never gave a about us until now, when they finally realized that the chain is being broke now. Cars won't come in. Food won't come in. Clothing won't come in. You know how many people depend on our jobs? Half the world. And it's time for them and time for Washington to put so much pressure on them to take care of us, because we took care of them. And we're here 135 years and brought them where they are today, and they don't want to share. And I'm done.
All right. So if y'all don't know about the union president, definitely do your research on him. He does not play. He does not play about his men. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, they're being greedy. They're holding America hostage. You have to understand, like, this is why I always, if you guys have been on my stream, if you guys have been T-sippers for a long time, this is why I always show so much love to, like, my truckers. You know, I have a big trucker community that watches me. You know, to the people in the trades, because these are hard jobs and these are jobs that make the world go round. A lot of people do not realize how things get to us. You know, we take for granted that when we're on Amazon and we place an order and it's here within, 24 hours because we all have Prime, we take for granted that somebody had to unload that barge. When those shipping containers come in from China, come in from Europe, somebody has to go into it and unload it. And they're doing this 24 hours a day, 24/7, 365. They don't get breaks. When everything was shut down during C-19, when the world shut down, most businesses shut down and folks were getting PPP loans and were scamming, they never shut down. They had to work all through the pandemic. The truckers never shut down. They had to work. The stock boys at the stores, because my son was stocking at that time. He was an essential worker and having to stock shelves. They never stopped working. And during COVID, these companies made billions because everybody was home. Everybody was shopping online. Amazon made billions. All of these companies made billions of dollars. So what they're asking for their fair share. They let it ride. And their contract was coming up because they have 6-year contracts. And so he was saying in one of the interviews that in Europe, how they paid their dock workers and their longshoremen, all the money that they made during COVID and stuff like that, they were able to pay everybody's salary. Like they doubled everybody's salary. They gave them, like, I think each dock worker got like an additional 50 grand or something like that. I don't know, but they like literally doubled their salaries, like as a thank you for working so hard. In America, they made billions, and the people who like ran the businesses, they kept all that money. They just kept it. They kept it for themselves. That was their bonus. They didn't turn around and say, hey, longshoremen who were here during C-19, a lot of them ended up passing during COVID, who are having to be out there and face the elements, rain, sleet, or snow. Because if you're unloading the docks up north, it's cool in the summertime, but come winter, you're still out there. During the hailstorms, during the bad weather, if you're down south and it's 100-something degrees, you're still out there working. If you're on the West Coast and it's super hot, you're still out there working. So what they're asking for is their share fair, and is their fair share. And while it's easy to blame them, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be mad at them and saying that you guys are putting a stranglehold on the economy, we're already struggling. The price of groceries are up. You guys are basically trying to strong arm the United States and trying to get money. But he's right, though. Even though it's going to affect all of us, they are right. Automation is getting out of control. People are losing jobs, and there's nothing to replace that. Remember back in the day when I would go to the East Coast, and I mean, they still have them, right? The toll people, where you pay a toll, somebody sitting in the booth. Well, now, then they introduce easy passes. So now when I go get rental cars, do you need an easy pass? Do you need an easy pass so that way you got to go through? Well, the easy pass is all automated. And nobody thinks about that, right? Because, everything with technology and automation, it comes in the guise of convenience. So it's like, oh, it's convenient. I can just have a easy pass on my window and just, go through the fast lane. But we're not thinking that easy pass, that automation just got 3 people, they lost their jobs. Toll workers, because now they don't need them. So that's how it comes in. It comes in the guise of convenience. Just like, when we first started doing self-checkout at stores. I remember when self-checkouts first came out. And it's like, oh, okay, that's quicker than waiting in line. But now there's more self-checkouts than cashiers. And I just hate doing self-checkout. It's just annoying. It's like, damn, I'm checking myself out. Like, it's cool if it's like a little thing, but if you have to have 40 items, who wants to sit there and scan all that shit? Like, you want a cashier, especially if you make a mistake, then you got to go hunt somebody down. So that's what they're saying, that they don't want automation coming in and taking their jobs. And for people who don't realize, their jobs are very, very dangerous. Learn more about longshoremen. They have some of the most dangerous jobs in America. They usually lose about 17 people a year. So imagine going to work. There's no room for error in their job. If somebody doesn't tie up a crane, I mean, not a crane, but like the straps that go on the boxes so the crane can pick it up. If something loosens, if something is not tied properly or connected properly, and that box falls on somebody, you're dead instantly. If somebody's not watching where they're going and they end up bumping into something and those crates fall off, instant death. So a lot of people, men and women, have lost their lives being longshoremen. So when people say, well, they make $100,000 a year, well, duh, that's why. That's why. They should make $100,000 a year. Hell, they should make more than that, because they really put in a lot of work to keep the rest of the country running and to get us our supplies. And we're not just talking about cars and food. Let's also think about people who are sick, who deal with chronic illnesses, our medication. And also, can we take blame as a country, the fact that we have outsourced everything? Everything is outsourced, from our medications to our food. Everything is being made overseas as opposed to it being made here. Why? Corporate greed. Because it's cheaper to have some Chinese kids picking, fruits and vegetables and canning them and paying them 10 cents an hour, as opposed to having junior high kids, high school kids have summer jobs doing that and paying them a livable wage. Well, maybe not livable because they ain't got no damn bills, but at least pay them $10 an hour. But we rather outsource everything to China and to India. And now we're in the situation that we're in, where everything is coming from overseas. And then before I go, another thing of corporate greed that nobody is really talking about, but we got the tea from our favorite, water person that works in the water. A lot of those ships will be told to hold back cargo. So let's say they're coming in, they're supposed to dock so they can get unloaded. Those corporations will be like, just stay in the water an extra week, because they get paid regardless. So that's more money they can bilk Amazon or whatever company is hoping for their supplies to come in. Well, we're trying to get it there. We need an extra few thousand. We need, we're running out of, I don't know what they used. We're running out of oil. We need, gas money. They do so much extortion, it's insane. All of this stuff is because of corporate greed. And if you think it's bad now, it's going to get worse because a lot of people in the workforce are not getting paid fairly. It's not just the longshoremen, the doctors, the nurses, working long hours, taking care of the sick. Remember, they were heroes during COVID. And then they demonized them for not wanting the vaccine. How do you switch up that quickly? Remember, they got rid of all those nurses in New York who didn't want to get the vaccine after singing their praises the year before. And then they realized, damn, we done got rid of all these people. Oh my God, now we need to refill the people that we got rid of. Well, this new generation ain't thinking really about nursing and being truckers and, the trades, because y'all demonized it. See, when I was in school, I remember being in welding class. We had wood shop, cosmetology, home ec. Y'all shocked me so much a few years ago when y'all told me there was not even home ec in some of y'all schools. There was mechanic shops. They got rid of all of the trades out of the high schools because that was deemed lowly work. It was all about corporate. And the reason why they were pushing corporate America was to push the college pipeline. Oh, just go to college, get your degree, get into a bunch of student loan debt, but you'll be able to pay it off because you can work your way up the corporate ladder. But now we're seeing that, the white collar people, the white, the corporate ladder people, they don't know how to fix roads. They don't know how to be electricians. TikTok dancers, they can't unload, the docks. So we've glamorized bullshit to the point where the younger generation, they don't want to go into the trades. So what's going to happen in 20 years now when all of the older carpenters, the older mechanics, the older construction workers, when they, pass on and have to retire, where are the new ones coming from? And this is why I have always encouraged this on my channel for those of you guys who can do it to get into the trades. It's good money, and especially if you're not making no more money in corporate and you want to change your scenery, get into the trades. And again, yes, I do YouTube. I'm an influencer, whatever. But y'all know my background is IT. So if this was to end tomorrow, I'm going back to IT. I'm not one of these dummies who fucked my way to the top. I built this from the ground up. I taught myself everything I know in this space. But don't get it twisted. I can always go back to IT. And my youngest is in the trades. He's going to carpentry school. And he had all types of offers for college, to go get a degree, scholarships. And he decided to go into the trades because we need more young people in the trades. I want him to have a skill that's going to set him apart. Him working a blue collar job, that's not going to set him apart. We're going into the future where jobs are not safe anymore. Remember the joke 5 years ago was, I can't wait till these McDonald's workers get replaced by robots. See, it's always funny to make fun of the fast food worker, the regular 9-to-5 person. But what happened? It went from McDonald's workers being replaced to, now AI is coming for your job, corporate. Oh, now AI is coming for your job, the art community. See, it's no fun when the rabbit has the gun. Nobody's job is safe, including my own. They have all types of AI influencers. Because why? All these influencers nowadays are trash. Mr. Beast is trash. All of these scandals are trash. These celebrities are trash. So now the new thing is, let's start getting these kids into, liking and worshiping AI influencers because they're safe. An AI influencer is not going to get caught up in a sex scandal. They're not going to get caught up in, labor violations like Mr. Beast and all types of nonsense. So nobody's job is safe. So you have to start looking into having a trade. At the current program that my son is in, They said the electrician program is literally filled up for the next year. People are running at this point in time to try and get a trade. It's going to get to that point where you're going to have to, nobody's coming to save you. I know a few years ago, me and Lady J were accused of prep shaming because I was telling people you had to be prepared. If you can spend $300 to go to a Nicki Minaj concert, a Beyonce concert, you need to put money aside to try and get generators. You don't have to live in a huge home. You can store food underneath your bed. You know, bottles of water. This is stuff I have been telling you guys for years. We were accused of prep shaming. And now we see all of these disasters happening. Now you see people saying, damn, these preppers aren't crazy after all. No one is coming to save you. And the people in North Carolina, in Asheville, and all those rural towns in the Appalachian Mountains are seeing that and they're realizing that. And it's heartbreaking seeing that devastation. And one good thing about the Appalachians, because they are so far out and they're mountain people, a lot of those people have self-sustaining skills. A lot of those people are not city folk. They know how to cut down trees. They know how to, milk cows. I don't know how to do none of that shit. Keeping it real. I can't milk a cow. I ain't got no axe. You know what I'm saying? But these are all things that we have to learn. We have to get back into gardening and growing food because it's about to get tough. If they decide not to go back to work for the next few weeks, there's not going to be a re-up of food coming in. They have the power right now, these longshoremen, to crush everything in America that's supposed to be coming in, from food to medication to blood to cars to clothing. Everything has grinded to a halt. So if the food does not get here, how will y'all eat? Half y'all can't even cook. Everything has to be microwaved. So these are just real questions that we have to ask ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Especially going into like this upcoming year, because things are not going to get any easier between a lot of, because they're not going to be the only ones going on strike. It's going to be more people going on strike. And I'm going to keep it real with you. The stuff that's going on in the entertainment world, like Atlantic Record, they let go of like 50 artists. They're now having to restructure their whole thing. They're trying to turn into, a distribution company now. They're trying to distribute music as opposed to signing artists. The average American does not give a shit about that. We don't care. So the record labels and the entertainment industry, Hollywood, the movies, nobody watching the movies like they used to. Hollywood is falling apart. Regular people, they don't care. Because y'all don't give a damn when it's the longshoremen, when it's the nurses striking, when it's the fast food workers striking. So there's going to be more of this. So just stay on top of the news. Understand what's going on in your area, how it affects you. And most importantly, also stay on top of the weather and just prepare as best as you can. And like I said in my last video that I did about the Hurricane Helene, also let's get off of our high horse, feeling like, well, they should have evacuated. They didn't have time. Hurricanes normally do not go that far inland. So these storm systems are getting worse and worse, and people need to understand that. It's not just the coastal cities that are being affected now. These storms are getting bigger. They're coming further inland. So you need to start having, you have to pay attention to the weather, pay attention to what's going on around you, stay on top of these storms, and don't look at it like, oh, well, that's those people over there. Because last time I checked, the West Coast people who are gloating, y'all done had more earthquakes this year than in any time. Every other month, there's been an earthquake in Cali and fires. So we all deal with different things depending on which part of the country that we live in. The Midwest tends to be a little bit safer, but we still get tornadoes. You got people in Tornado Alley. In the wintertime, we deal with horrible, winter weather. So every section of America has their own little cross to bear. Just make sure you're prepared and stop gloating, because these are real people dying and suffering in these, affected areas. So on that note, you guys, I'm gonna get ready to go here. Let me see. Oh, I got a few more super chats. Hold up here. Nicole Fortenberry says, stock up while you can. I went to buy toilet paper and was asked for my ID because they limited 2 per customer at Kroger's in Little Rock. Wow. Yeah, definitely stock up what you can get. Let's see here. Kelly says, this reminds me of the season on The Wire when the union had all those issues at the ports. Prophetic. Wow, okay. Thank you for the super chat, y'all. Steffi Steffs at 1999 says, do you think this goes deeper? People are trafficked in shipping containers. If it's automated, no witnesses. It could, but I don't, conspiracy theories aside, this is, I'm just going to deal in reality right now. This is affecting us. The supply chain right now is broken. So, bless the people in the containers. At this point, there's food, there's medication, and real items that are not going to be in stores in a few weeks if they don't get this situation together. But that is a really good theory, though. That is a good theory. Let's see here. Oh, no, that's Most. And 499 says, I sew and I always had good paying sewing jobs. They don't even teach sewing no more. Yeah. Nope, because they just had people in China make the clothes and they just sew their tags in there and that's it. Yeah, it's sad. Kit Finn says they took all the trades out of the poorer areas and put it back in, but only in the middle class school areas. Heck, I didn't know there was a trade. I didn't know what a trade school was. Yeah. Let's see here. Max says, if your kids are in high school and a part of Skills USA, encourage them to get into it. For Discord, I will send out the information soon and also look into Job Corps. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for that. Max and 499 says, if your kids are in high school, offer the Skills USA. Okay, perfect. All right, so I read all the super chats, you guys. We had over close to 14,000 people in here. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. This was a really good stream. I appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to go. I will see everybody this weekend. But yeah, be safe, stock up, stay on top of what's going on with the longshoremen and, the weather and everything else. And I'll probably come back maybe Monday or Tuesday, but I'm out. I'm about to enjoy my Millie party. I'm going to be out for this whole weekend. So y'all will see me next week. Everybody take care. Love you guys. Bye, everyone.